Good afternoon. Welcome back to Cool Talk with Brown's Heating and Air. Thank you for listening since the beginning. If you're still here listening and all the episodes we have uploaded, please go back and subscribe and follow along and catch up on a lot of great information. We are with Marco today from T4Tactics. Thanks for coming, Marco.
Thanks for having me.
Man,
good to see you.
It's been a long time since we got to sit down and chat.
It has.
A lot of my episodes, if you've been listening, I do all local businesses here, and most of the time it's just Central Virginia geared. But it shocked me, but I do have a couple people and several that have listened that have reached out to me from Arizona, like other heating and air people.
Wow.
That I shared Arizona, Texas, and all. And
excellent.
And Marco is a perfect guest this episode for anybody in the nation because you do a lot of traveling.
A lot.
And Marco. And it's unfortunate that he has to have this business, but it's really good that he is doing it. So tell us a little bit about you, Marco, a little bit of who you are, where you came from, a little bit of past, and what T4Tactics is about.
Born and raised in Daytona Beach, Florida, and retired from the police department down there as a sergeant in Daytona. And I was on the SWAT team, hostage negotiations team. Especially most of my career was special investigations unit. So I was plainclothes, working it's mostly major crimes or anything that has a political, sensitive case, then we'd work it. So I retired in 2007. My wife and I moved up here. I started T4Tactics, and I first started out just doing training, firearms training.
Right.
So I still do that. Just concealed carry, multi-state. And then when we started having active shooter training, about after tech.
The anniversary was this week.
Yeah.
So how many years ago? That was in 2007? 7 or 8?
Yeah.
So
I think it was 7. Yeah. And then Columbine anniversary was just yesterday. I'm losing track of my days, but Columbine was just yesterday anniversary. So
I remember that when I was still in school during that one.
Yeah. That was the first really big one.
And it wasn't really a thing then. It's just the recent years, it's getting more and more in malls, churches.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So I saw the need for that. And so about 2007, and I had always, as a hostage negotiator, I'd always had to take a lot of classes on human behavior, violent human behavior, what makes people tick, what makes them go off. Violent and non-violent behavior. So, and then on the SWAT team, I worked, back then when I was a cop, we didn't call them active shooters. We just we had a shooting.
Yeah.
Multiple people shot.
Yes.
And,
mass shooting.
A mass shooting. Yeah. When we'd respond to a scene, it wasn't active shooter. That kind of was coined after Columbine and then Tech and Sandy Hook. But then it evolved into that. So I started really studying, and I went to some classes. I attended some classes here in Virginia from DCJS, state classes, and I wasn't really impressed with them. They're good training. I'm not gonna shortchange that. They're good training, but I thought we're not hearing what really happened. We're hearing third hand, train the trainer,
and that how to prevent it
exactly,
or know what's going on before it happens.
Right. So I decided to travel the country, and after the dust settles, go out to these events and ask these people what happened. Part of the healing process is for them to tell their story.
Right.
So I've interviewed 13 of the most horrific attacks, and there's probably about 120 people I've interviewed.
Wow.
But what I do is sit down and I say, tell me how your day started.
Yeah.
Tell me what you did that morning, and then tell me where you were at your church, school, shopping center, when you heard that first shot. Yeah. When
did you notice something was different?
Right. And then we talk about, if it was an employee, we'll talk about, did you ever see any warning signs? Oh, yeah, there were warning signs.
Yeah. But sometimes for years.
Years. Yeah. And the signs are ignored. So I teach active shooter response training. Like you said, I travel the country.
Yeah.
No business is too small or too big. And I go out and do a facility review, how to make the target harder.
Right.
Instead of soft target, we want it to look appealing. We don't want our business or church.
You don't want to look like a prison.
Exactly.
You want to be able to come welcoming, but you're protected.
That's right. And then we want the building to work for us and not against us. Correct. If there's ever an attack. So, we've done some big heating and cooling businesses, plumbing businesses in Texas. It seems like Texas, Chicago, Indiana, and North Carolina are the biggest states that are really on board with this training.
Yeah.
And Arizona.
And are some of these states have they had the shootings, I guess, close by that it made them trigger it, or just a lot of people like seeing this nationwide, like we need to do something?
The majority of the industry that I teach is service industry. So it's HVAC, it's plumbing, it's construction.
And then did you hear, I guess you heard the story, it was last week or 2 weeks ago, actually, 2 heating and air guys got killed during a shooting. Now, I don't think it was an active shooter situation. I think it was a family issue, but they were there working, and both of them got shot, and it really woke my eyes up because we are, like I said earlier, but we're in a ton of houses. I've got 23 guys, and if they go, 6 crews go to one house a day, and I've been in thousands.
Right.
You just don't ever think.
No.
It'll never happen. You always think, oh, it'll never happen to us.
And it's a doctor's house in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you kind of tend to let your guard down. I'm not going to have a problem here. It's a doctor's house in a nice neighborhood. If I went into another neighborhood, then okay, maybe I could see something, But that one was horrible. And then that opens up the door. And this is a big question for employers. Do I let my employees, with the climate we're having now, do I let my employees carry firearms or not?
Right. And I do, as long as they have the right licenses.
Right.
The right permits. They have to have the class. They have to have the card. It's not just, hey, I got a gun. Well, if you had the class, then no, it's staying in your truck.
Right.
You're not going in my vehicle. But I will let them.
Yeah.
They do if they have the class.
And had those guys had firearms, they could have stopped that guy before it even happened. I tell businesses, because it's a big question about do we let them carry or not. And a lot of big businesses are going to don't ask, don't tell. We're not even going to address it in the policy book because we don't want to address it. But I do say, for employers, I suggest if you're going to allow your employees to carry a firearm, make sure they go through a concealed permit, put them through some type of formal firearms training, so they can hit a target, and then sit them down with an attorney, sit the group down with an attorney. And
that's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
Let's go over
what you could and can't do, what you need to avoid.
Because that's gonna lighten up your liability as a business owner. Is if they do something stupid or not, you're going to be able to say, I put them through a qualification course, I put them through a concealed carry course, or they went through one, and then I put them through. I had them sit down with an attorney, and they went over what they can do and can't do with that gun, and what the ramifications will be if something happens.
That's really good information. I'm thinking I need to do that. I need to set up, because you've got a new location here on Timberlake Road.
Yep.
I need to set it up for, and offer to all my employees the multi-state. They can bring their spouse and have a day, treat them lunch, and do the class. How long is the class?
The multi-state is 4 hours, and you have to have a Virginia permit for that.
Okay.
That's 4 hours. A lot of people, a lot of people say, well, I don't travel, I don't need the multi-state, but the more certificates you can get under your belt, if something ever was to happen, it's going to look really good to go to court and say, I've got this training, and this training.
Well, 9 out of 10 people I talk to go to Myrtle Beach every year.
Yeah,
I mean, you're traveling. You go to North Carolina. You go to South Carolina. You're not in Virginia all the time.
Right.
And you want to know where you can carry and where you can't. And you want to know their laws, because every like New York's so strict, I've heard you can't even cross the bridge to New Jersey with one, you're going to jail. So you got to know what bridge. If you're just traveling and get lost and you get pulled over,
that's right.
To know where you're going. And these, especially schools, I really would hope a lot more schools will get it. I know our kids go to private school, and one good thing we like about it is we know there's 6 to 10 teachers that conceal carry every day. And that's one good thing. They do mandatory training yearly on it. They have to have their licenses, and schools would be a good one to.
I think I know the school you're talking about, and that's, if we're on the same sheet of music, it is the most secured school in the state. Yeah, I'm very. We'll talk off air, but I'm very very impressed with I think what we're talking about.
Yeah, and we've been they run drills weekly.
Yeah, they take it very serious.
We get email every week. There's no problem, but we want to tell you we did a active shooter training lockdown.
And that's the way to do it is you have to set up that muscle memory, and you have to remind the kids that there's more than one exit. A lot of people get locked in. Kids get locked in.
Well, you get tunnel vision.
I
go in this and out, this one door every day. That's all I can do.
That's right.
Well, it's just like a fire. If there's fire at that door, you got to teach your kids as well. Go out another way.
Yeah. Riken was a first grader, It's Sandy Hook, and he managed to run right past the gunman. Long story, but I'll make it short.
No,
He
you're
managed to run right past the gunman as he was reloading. He ended up counting the rounds in the magazine.
Wow. How old was he?
First grade.
Wow.
So
he counted the rounds.
His dad would take him shooting and got him familiar with an AR. And I say, I teach these active shooter classes, and active shooter training is not about firearms. I don't even mention firearms. It's about having a response plan.
It could be any weapon.
That's right.
Yep.
But even if you're anti-Second Amendment, you're anti-gun, nowadays you have to know how these firearms operate, because your window of opportunity may be during a pistol malfunction, AR malfunction, or a reload.
Yeah.
So he ran out, but Riken did the right thing and ran past the gunman, but he ran all the way down the end of the hallway to where they have him programmed to go for the fire drill.
Okay.
So he passed 4 good exits.
Okay.
So we have to make sure our kids aren't programmed, and us, we're not programmed that when I'm at the grocery store, wow, the only way out if something happens is the front door. No way.
Yeah. There's a back. There's always a back.
There's always a back.
There's always something that, and you've got to practice and train them weekly or monthly. You can't just go every 6-8 months.
That's right.
Because
muscle memory. You got to get that down. And then when it happens, if we're under attack, if we practice it all the time, it's not a surprise to us when it happens. Okay, I've practiced this all the time. I got it. This is it. I'm going to survive. I'm going to win and beat this guy, and I'm going to survive.
That's right. And one thing I stress to a lot of people too, and I tell them that you definitely, a lot of people get, I guess, scared when they hear on TV, guns, don't be scared of guns, be scared of this, don't teach your kids. Kids need to learn young and know, and not just attacks, just knowing, let's say what a kid runs up on a gun at home.
Yeah.
And you haven't taught him about that. He thinks it's a toy, and you hear about a time brother shoots brother, because they thought it was a play toy. So you also have a fun class for kids.
It's fun. Yeah, my wife does it. She's a nutcase.
And what age are you
we leave it up to the parents.
Okay.
If they can understand what's going on, then they're welcome. It gets a little bit juvenile for them if it's
too old.
Yeah, if it gets to around 10 or 11.
Okay.
But normally the ideal age is kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay.
And it's about a 2.5 hour class, about a 2 hour class. And we do arts and crafts, coloring. They get prizes for answering questions. We watch a 8-minute cartoon, but they leave learning a song. Stop, don't touch, leave the area, and tell a responsible adult.
Okay.
And it's a very valuable lesson. But it all goes back to, we all have to be responsible gun owners and secure our guns, keep them out of unauthorized and untrained individual hands, especially right now since the Second Amendment is under so much attack.
It is.
We've got to be careful what we say on social media about being aggressive. We got to be careful about make sure we secure our guns and make sure we practice.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't practicing now because ammo is so expensive, but you don't have to shoot an entire box. A lot of people get locked in. Well, I got to shoot a whole box. Go pick out a target with a couple different numbers on it. Have somebody stand there with you and have them tell you, hit number 5, come up on target 5. So you only have to shoot 12 rounds, but you're getting that muscle memory. You're getting that skill. It's a perishable skill, so we have to make sure we keep using
some of the shooting ranges you can actually, or you can buy a little bit cheap, just actually range bullets. Correct? Yeah. It's a little different, so it's cheap, a little bit cheaper than having to buy a box and waste really good bullets.
Yeah. Full metal jacket ammo is just practice rounds, and it's less expensive than defensive rounds, which is very expensive.
So you offer a lot of classes here. You can get your concealed Virginia permit. That'll come with a class and the range.
Yep.
You'll travel anywhere. If you have a business or a school or any kind of business anywhere in the United States that wants to learn about what to do, can you teach the concealed class? I guess you can teach them in any state too, right? You can go to Florida and teach them?
Yeah, as long as that state's requirement are a NRA or a USCCA instructor. That's what I am. But some states like North Carolina requires you have to be law enforcement or go to a special class. So North Carolina, no, but most of the states, I can teach the concealed permit class. Okay.
And then where can people find you to get up with you about these classes and maybe book them? Or do you have a schedule online as well?
Yeah, I've got the schedule. It's my website, T4Tactics. So it's the letter T, the number 4 Tactics, T4Tactics.com.
And where'd you get that name? What is T4Tactics?
So T4 is the top 4 tactics you need to survive an active shooter attack. So we have to recognize that they're a reality. Mm-hmm. We've got to get training. We've got to understand that training, and then we've got to learn how to respond.
Okay.
So there's tons of subfolders
Right.
to all those, but it's the top 4 things you really need to know. To the first thing we want to do as a business or a church is prevent the attack.
Right.
Identify the best way to win a fight is not being won in the first place. If we can identify bad behavior or I set up threat assessment teams for these businesses, and it's non-adversarial. We're not trying to get people in trouble. It's simply set up to keep the property safe.
Right, and you got to protect what you build and protect yourselves and your family.
Absolutely.
You're always at war with something.
Yeah.
In the area, so you always got to be alert.
Yep.
What other things does T4Tactics offer? Do you have any other we do events or activities y'all like to do?
Yeah, we do gun cleaning classes. A lot of people that are nervous about guns, if they come in and I teach them how to take that gun apart, clean it, put it back together, they feel a lot better with it. That's because true. They know Makes how sense. It works. It kind of brings you in one with the gun. That kind of sounds like a movie line. Yeah, be one with the gun.
Be one with the gun.
Yeah, but we do that. I do a ladies' self-defense handgun class, which brings ladies to the next level. So my basic pistol safety class for the concealed permit, you're on one planet over here, and then you need to really go to the next planet and jump up steps. Okay. So the men's, it's 2 separate classes, one for men, one for ladies. On May 8th, we've got a ladies expo coming up for holsters. Holsters. Ladies' bodies are shaped differently. Their clothing is different. So holsters are hard to find. So we're going to have a couple businesses come up to the office on May 8th, and ladies can come in and bring their unloaded guns. Yeah. And try them on different holsters. We'll do a safety check, make sure there's no ammo coming in the office that day. But it's a chance to actually physically try out a holster and see if you like it or not.
Oh, that's awesome.
That situation.
They can buy them that day too.
That's right. But I can't tell you how many holsters I've ordered from online, and here comes the UPS guy or FedEx guy. And you get excited. I hate it. Sending it back.
Yeah.
So, and then we do a situational awareness class for ladies, and for men. It's mostly for ladies, men, families, but it teaches people what to watch for out there, pre-attack indicators. So the situational awareness class it's an eye opener for a lot of people.
That's huge. And then let's say there's some people listening that really want some of these classes. They want to take them, but they don't own a gun, so they may need education on what to buy. Yeah, will you help them still? They can still take the classes, learn this. You don't have to bring a gun to learn these things.
You don't. If you have a gun, you bring it. But I tell people, don't buy a gun until you take the class. Because we're going to talk about revolvers, semi-automatics, ergonomics, hand size. Are you looking for home defense, concealed carry?
It's so much. It's not.
It's a lot, and a good gun is going to start about $450.
Yeah.
So I tell people, and then I walk them through.
Some of them are heavy, some of them are light.
Exactly. When we go to the range, if they don't own a gun, they can rent one, and I'll tell them, I think this gun would be right for you to rent that one. Okay. And so I don't want people to make a mistake. And then I tell them after you take the class, before you go buy a gun, shoot me a screenshot of it, tell me the price, and I'll tell you if it's junk or not, or if I think that's a
and you can kind of tell them stay away from these brands. And
that's right.
Look at these brands or this. Certain gun dealers that you trust.
I've got people in town that I send them to, and they'll give discounts if they've taken my class.
Okay.
So just because the class is over doesn't mean I'm done with the people.
Right. You stay in touch. You care a lot about what's going on after.
I want them to do the right thing.
Right.
Get the right equipment.
And definitely get the kids. That's on the website too. I guess that you try to do them once a month with teaching kids, or just as you get the need.
As we get the need. Okay. I try to run at least 2 a year.
Okay.
And we pack the house. COVID kind of messed us up last year.
Right.
We only did one last year, but I would try to do that, and then. And kids are always welcome to the gun class. I've had a 6-year-old take it. The average age for kids is usually around 14 or 15.
Okay.
And that's the adult class. We put them through everything. They need to know everything.
They need to know it.
A lot of parents say if there's going to be a gun in the house, I want the kids to know. They're not going to have access to it.
Right.
But I want them to know everything.
Yeah. I've got them. Both of mine are in safes locked up. Yeah. Because I got 2 boys, and I never keep one in the chamber on either one of them, but they stay locked in the safe. But they definitely would, need to get in that class and learn about it. My oldest now is almost 10. He's always begging me to go, to go to a range and teach him to shoot. So I need to get him in that because I'm not confident enough yet to teach him what I learned, because I don't really know all the terms and this stuff to teach him. But I'll definitely get him in that class, and because I want to take the multi-state. I got my Virginias, but I don't want to take a multi-state.
Yeah, I got a multi-state this Sunday after church. Got a lot of people that can't do Monday through Saturday. So I've been running
Yeah.
some classes after church. And that's another thing we do.
You're flexible.
Yeah, flexible. I do a Sunday school at my office from 8 to 9.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Completely casual. I wear shorts and a t-shirt because I'm going to the gym afterwards. But we've been doing the armor of God on what God wants us to do in the climate that's out here today, right now.
That's good.
And
How's that been going?
It's been
good
going.
Turnout?
Yeah, I've got about 6 people that are coming. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
That's good.
That's
If
good.
we
That's
can get
great,
6,
man.
6 strong people, everybody's welcome. But it's Sunday morning from 8 to 9, and we read that verse and that lesson on armor of God, and then talk about it for about an hour, then cut loose.
That's awesome. Well, give us so everybody knows your address, where you're at here locally, and then again how to reach you if you're listening outside of Virginia and you want to set something up or just talk to Marco when he might be in your area for classes.
Yep.
What's your info to reach you?
It's 22634 Timberlake. Everybody knows where the coffee cup is on Timberlake, so I'm across from the coffee cup. And then the website is T4Tactics, the letter T, the number 4, tactics.com. If you're out of the area, you can call me and I'll send you a written proposal on active shooter training for your business. In 2000, COVID kind of held us back because, in
Traveling was that.
yeah.
You can do it, but
2019, I went to 18 different states and trained just over 10,000 people.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's good because all those people will take it back to their families and tell them a little bit about their herd. So it's all about reducing injuries and saving lives in the workplace and wherever we go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I hope y'all get the info. We'll be sharing it as well. Give Marco a call. Please get him lined up. Even if you're local here, you get your kids in the class, or you want to, learn more about it. It's definitely not a bad idea. It's not a bad topic to talk about. You hear it on the news. Don't buy guns. Stay away from guns. You need to know about it. If you're not prepared, something could happen to anybody.
Right. And the classroom is always comfortable and climate controlled. We use Brown's Heating and Air. So
that's right.
Well, we've always got the heat on, or we've got the.
And if not, we work 24/7 too, so we'll come out on a Sunday as well and make sure you're comfortable for class.
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming in, Marco.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Marco, real quick, also has a podcast. On Apple, they can subscribe to. What do they need to look for on that?
It's Active Listening with T4Tactics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you give a lot of tips there. And
there's a lot of safety tips. There's a lot of information on statistics on active shooters. What made this particular person tick at this one, what set it off. So we've got some Virginia gun laws. There's one 14 minutes, did a podcast with Bethany Harrison, Commonwealth attorney. She came out for 14 minutes and we did this is what Virginia says you can do with your gun, and this is what they say you can't do.
You need to know that. You got to know that.
If you're a responsible gun owner, you got to listen to that 14 minutes.
Know the laws because they're changing every year. July 1st is coming up and there's going to be new laws.
Right.
If you don't know it, July 1st, you can get in trouble.
You got to know what the law says when you can use your gun for self-defense in your home and out in the public.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Well, y'all find Marco. Hit him up. Get some classes. COVID's now lifting, so he's back to doing some classes, but he can travel. Hit him up for your business, school, church, whatever you want for info. Great. A lot of info on this site. That's awesome. So thank you, buddy.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun.
I need to come visit your podcast soon. And
absolutely.
And we can interview about Brown's Heating and Air.
Absolutely.
And we'll do that
You
soon.
just say when.
And I'm gonna get my company signed up. We'll just do a private gun class event. I'm gonna see how many's interested and get that lined up.
Perfect.
All of them are hunters, so most of them got the Virginia.
Yeah.
If I can get them that and get a multi-state, that'd be great.
Yeah, perfect.
So cool. Well, thank y'all for
All
listening. Subscribe to Cool Talk. Also go look for Active Shooter shooting on the podcast with Marco and his website and contact him and get signed up. And we will see you soon.